What time is it? Men room time. 11 p.m. A little past 11. Men room time. What is men's room? Men's room is the place where men come to teach other men how to be men, the skills, the ways of man. A place where you come teach and a place where you come learn. Ladies are welcome, but this is a place for men, so your advice is welcome, but this is a place for men to teach men how to be men. Last week, we toppled hygiene. And it's crazy because it's crazy that I even had to discuss that. But I did. Because women were telling me some things that were quite disturbing about some of the fellas. And y'all hygiene. For example, washing your ass with a washcloth in between your ass is gay. I never heard that before. But multiple women, they were having a conversation, and I'm like, what the fuck y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? And they told me. And I said, you heard that too? And they, yeah. A lot of men, they said, be funky. Be funky. And they said, how you don't work a labor job but got rough hands and rough skin and shit? Like it's hard to put cocoa butter on. So these are just things that I was hearing about, A lot of us smoke and y'all don't brush our teeth. Like, I was just hearing some disturbing things. So we went over that, tackled that. That was taken care of. That is done. This week, I wanted to talk about, I want to say a skill, but it's something that you should be doing. Mostly as a human being, but definitely as a man. And I was talking to people some people tell me like they don't got no plans, no goals. Like they're just living day to day. They go to work if they work. Some of them hustle, but it's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you wake up for? What are your goals? Like you don't set a daily goal, a weekly goal, a monthly goal. Like I'm not saying you have to have a daily goal, weekly goal, monthly goal in that order, but you should have at least, all right, by next year, I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna have this accomplished, or I be writing down daily shit, and it's just things I got to do. Those are my goals. That if I do not accomplish throughout that day, I cannot have a peaceful day. I cannot sit there and sit back and relax and enjoy myself until I take care of these things, until I accomplish these things that I need to take care of. So those are like my daily goals. So if you got, see, and I be forgetting stuff, so I definitely write it down. Like I be doing so much that I forget. Like I tell men, if you're working for the man, if you're working 60 hours for the man, you should be putting 40 hours in for yourself, 30 hours in, whatever. You should be putting something in for yourself. So I follow those same guidelines. I'm punching the clock, and then I come work for me. I run breakout clothing. You see, I got a breakout shirt on right now. I was about to pick up another breakout from recession, oppression, depression, and when. So, yeah, so I do that. I go to work, punch the clock, go work for myself, print up some stuff. I gotta promote, I gotta market, I gotta, we gotta do all that stuff. Come talk to y'all. I'm in school trying to be a substance abuse counselor, so it's like I got kids, I have a woman, so it's things in life that you have to take care of. But if you have 15 things on your plate like I do, then you gotta write stuff down. You gotta have daily goals. I'm gonna accomplish this tomorrow, this tomorrow, this tomorrow. I'm gonna accomplish this, this, and this. You gotta make sure that you know the things you gotta do and write them down if they're important so you don't forget. Because if you forget, then it, people think that you're not taking things seriously, that you don't think certain things are important, but you're like, damn, I just forgot. But to people, it's like, especially people that are selfless and people that care about you and do things for you, they're gonna say, well, if you cared, you would have remembered. So that's why I say write it down, because I be forgetting stuff that I actually really care about, but I just forgot. So write it down. Have some daily goals. Have some, goal for next year. Next year, 5 years, 10 years. Like, I'm like, by the time when I'm 45 in 10 years, I have a plan. Like, by the time I'm 45, this is what I want to have accomplished. And you write down the steps it takes to accomplish those things. So uh, I'm just saying, and I say for all human beings, have goals. But I say especially for men, you can't be a man without a plan. You can't be like la 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 la, just lollygagging through life. It does not work. How can you lead? How can you be a leader if you don't have a plan? If you don't know where you're leading people to? How can you be respected as a man and lead as a man if you do not have a place to lead to? So, these are things that we all work on. If you notice them, I've noticed them, so I work on them. And I'm not going to front. It took me a long time to notice these things. But once you notice these things, you work on them. So, like I said, you got to have a goal. You got to have plans. You have to set things up. You got to write them down. You got to write the steps to accomplish those things. And you got to follow through with those steps. You got to be a man of your word. I'm tired. I've been at work all day. I want to take a shower and go to sleep. I wanted to skip this. I'm like, I'm just starting this. There's not going to be people there. They're going to miss it. But you know what? I said I was going to be here. I told people I was going to be here. I posted I was going to be here. So if I tell people I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show up. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to show up and not show up. If it's important, and this is important because this is my word. If one person shows up, what if I had a couple people show up and somebody said, "Yo, I have something important to say. I had something I really wanted to tell fellas because I'm watching these youngins do this or I'm watching these youngins do that, and I'm seeing older brothers do this and I'm seeing older brothers do that, and these are things that I'm noticing, and if we discuss them and if we bring those to each other's attention, we can work on those things, we can fix those things. But if I don't show up, can't know then and other people want to show up, oh, then I'm not a man of my word, or why would you want to come back next week? So that's why I'm a man of my word. I said I'm gonna be here, so I am here. I'm here. 11 o'clock Tuesdays, after a full day of grinding, I'm here, and I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. So like I said, have them goals, write those down, and put the things in motion. Follow the steps and put it in motion and get to it. Another thing, another thing that somebody had said to me. Um, the person was talking. They said, "Oh, we were talking about men being mama's boys and how women are playing the role of men and working and supporting the family and being the providers and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, I'm like, it's because a lot of men were raised without fathers, or your father was out of the house, he was at work, or he just wasn't there, whatever. So you was raised by your mother, and being raised by your mother, you don't learn how to be a man. You might learn some of the traits, but a woman can't teach a man how to be a man. So a lot of men don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They slack. We're enabled. Like that. Black mothers be like, "That's my baby." We be 30 years old, and it's love, but sometimes that love messes men up. It messes women up too. No, no, no. I don't think. Let me rephrase that. That absence of a father messes a female up. Usually the daughter up differently than it messes the son up. Yeah. And mothers usually treat their sons different than they treat their daughters. Just something that I've noticed. Anyway, fellas, go back to the first video. Make sure you watch that. The hygiene thing is serious. It's real. Like, people do not like to be next to no smelly person. People pay attention to your hands. People pay attention to your face. When they're looking at your face, when they're talking to you, they're looking at your face. They see what's going on here. Take care of it. They look at your hands. People smell. If you smell good, they're going to notice it. If you smell bad, they're going to notice it. If you just smell clean, you just smell clean. But who don't want to smell good? So I'm not going to go over everything again. You just got to watch the video and you'll get it together. The goals, fellas. Write down these goals. Write down the goals that you have in your mind. Make goals if you don't have them already. Make them. Sit down, think, yo, what do I want to do in 6 months? Matter of fact, what do I want to have accomplished in a week? What do I need to accomplish? What do I need to take care of in the next week? And write it down and take care of it. What do I need to take care of the week after that? Write it down, take care of it. And then sit back, say, after you do your next week, your first week, say, what do I need to have? What do I want to have accomplished in a year? And then say, how can I accomplish that in a year? What are the things I need to do to accomplish that? Write it down. In 5 years, on the path that I'm going, on the trajectory to greatness. To greatness. What are the steps I need to do? What do I want to do in 5 years? What do I want to have accomplished? And what are the steps? Write it down. I be trying to tell people make 10-year plans and 20-year plans. It is hard to think where I'm going to be in 20 years. But countries, and we're not countries as ourselves, but somebody plans and decides, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, what is America going to be doing? Somebody's sitting in a room like, in 100 years, this is the trajectory that we're going on, with the data, with the numbers, with this, with that. In 100 years, we're going to have to do boom, boom, boom. So, if you can think long term, 20 years, what do you want to do? Where are you going to be in 20 years? Where are you going to be in 10 years? But like I said, start simple. Start with the week. Then go to the year. Then you can go 2 years, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. Whatever process you want to go. Write it down. Take those steps. And accomplish that. So I'm done for the night. It's been a wonderful show. It's been a quick show. I will see you again next Tuesday, 11 p.m. in the men's room. Have a good night. Be safe. And, go back and watch that first video, because those steps, those things that I told you, like I said earlier, are very, very important steps. And the things I told you today about the goals and writing them down and having a daily goal and a weekly goal, year, etc., very important. So save this, share this, and I'll see y'all next week.